listening to Red Rules, a Fallout Tabletop podcast.
So
what do you want to blood bend out of this shit? What do you want to?
Well, Hazel, what would be most helpful?
Well, I don't want to make it too complicated. Honestly, just something like a rope ladder would be fine. So, this is going to sound gross.
Oh, it's going to be floppy. Okay,
floppy is fine. I think a rope ladder will work. Basically, something long with bulbous protrusions about every 6 to 8 inches.
I know what a rope ladder is.
All right.
So, I make a rope ladder. How are you attaching it?
Well, I have really good throwing, and so I'm going to lasso the flea.
Okay, so to make a rope ladder, it would be a luck plus strength. Nope. Nope. This would be a luck plus... no, I kind of like using the strength. Okay. Strength plus...
Roll for
repair
plus strength.
Strength plus repair.
Okay.
For a difficulty 2. So you'll have to roll 2 combat dice additionally to this, no matter what. That is the rule to do that.
I'm going to use an AP and get the AP back. So that's 3 successes.
Yep.
And then I'm rolling
2 combat dice.
Combat dice.
You'll take 1 damage, and we can just do a hit location or so. And this is...
it's not his intestines, are it? Please, no.
It's piercing.
Please tell me it's not intestines.
Anytime you do that, it's going to be a direct... That's going to... Because you're
I get it. No, yeah. I'm not going to be like, hey, I got 5 DR. Like, no, I understand. I understand what I'm doing here. I get the cool implications.
All right, cool. So you make an intestinal rope ladder, and then Hazel, you're trying to lasso the rope ladder up to the fusion flea, right?
Yes, I'm going to lasso, let's say, they're very streamlined, but I have to assume that if it's got a broken out window, I can lasso the driver's seat or the
it does have fins. You can try for one of the fins.
It might cut through the intestines. That might be a bad idea. But if I can lasso the seat, the steering wheel, or maybe even one of the if one of the doors is kind of ajar, I can lasso the door itself.
Yeah. So do a perception plus throwing for a difficulty 2 to try to get that puppy up there. Successes, yeah, that's great. So get an AP point back. You managed to lasso this rope ladder, intestinal rope ladder. That's what I'm imagining. Imagining a lot of intestines.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't get to pick. I just said, hey, it'd be nice to have a rope ladder, and Kane just sort of connected the dots.
Yeah, somebody's going to need some Pepto this evening, and it might be Hazel. Just saying. Okay, so I'm going to give it a really hard tug and make sure whatever it is it's attached to is firmly rooted, so that I would rather have the car come down when we can dodge out of the way than pulling on the rope and having the car come down on top of me.
Okay, yeah, so you're gonna go ahead and pull the rope. So can everybody please roll a agility plus athletics for a difficulty 3?
Agility plus athletics
for difficulty 3, yes.
So I yanked on the rope, and now the car's coming down. You know what? I'm glad
I am a damaged robot. Let's see what happens here.
I'm really, really glad I yanked on the rope, though. Jeez.
At least one.
All right, yeah. So what happens is you yank on this rope, and then the fusion flea, along with the netting and pretty much the entire arm of this thing, start to come crashing down. What happens next is everyone takes. So let's see. Hazel's right below it. Punchy's right below it. Abel is also right below it. You all take. I'm gonna roll some combat dice, and we're gonna find out what you're gonna take here. Give me a second.
Oh no!
I'm gonna roll 4 combat dice.
All right.
Shaw.
So you all just take 1 damage.
Ow. Okay.
You take it to your right arm. As this hand comes crashing down the fusion flea, it actually kicks the back of this like kind of nuke, and it almost like I don't know if you've ever played like Just Cause. Like they have these like little thrusters you can put on stuff. So basically, you activate the back of one of the nukes, and it just starts like skimming along the floor, heading in the direction of where Frankie is.
No.
And Frankie, you're kind of like attached to the satellite, and it comes at the bottom of you and just like hits the wall. Part of the satellite, the part of the satellite that you're holding onto, detaches itself from the wall and falls, and you also take that 1 damage. So now you are on the ground. The satellite is on the ground. One of the nukes is like now implanted in the wall on the other side, and there's just 1 nuke right there. Oh, and the fusion flea and the rest of this beast's arm are now on the floor of this as well. The hot garbage is all covered up by the flesh, so now it's just a roast.
That could have gone a lot worse.
Oh, that absolutely could have been much worse. So,
honestly, I'm kind of glad. I didn't know how I was going to get down safely, so I'm actually not too disappointed in how that played out.
Hashtag blessed.
I was gonna, at this point, I was gonna try and just keep climbing up, like that net that was above me. So
Hazel's just gonna walk over to the flea and start rifling through the tiny back seat and pop open the trunk and see if there's anything in this thing worth taking.
Yeah, so you look in the trunk of this fusion flea. From what you can tell, it's like somebody recently repaired this fusion flea. You kind of like pop open the trunk, and you find brain. Come on, brain, let's work it. You find, I would say, like repair tools, like some like basic repair tools.
Ooh, like a repair multi-tool like kit. Very nice.
Yeah, and Jared's getting some love right now. That's pretty good. It's hard to ignore that. You find tools in the back of it. Based on what you can tell, you also know that fusion fleas run off of a nuclear device that you could supplant a fusion core onto and kind of like siphon the power.
Oh, okay. So I know this is something. Yeah, that makes sense. So guys, good news, bad news. There's no fusion core, but if we can find ourselves a fusion core that's low on energy, we could plug it into this thing, and provided I don't accidentally cross the wires and detonate the whole thing, it can recharge a fusion core for us. Maybe.
Well,
because the fusion fleas is. Wait, what?
I found it in that pile of hot garbage you made me look at before you dropped a car on me.
Well,
I have it right here.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
in my third arm.
How did you?
The least damage of my arms.
I'm not going to even ask. I'll see if I can. We have a Okay, so I've got some repair tools that should help one of us do a little bit more with repairs. You know what? Hell with it. I'll give it a try.
I would like to assist.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, intelligence plus repair for difficulty 2 to fill up your fusion core off of the fusion flea.
Out of game, I think the healing Brainiac is going to need to take a couple levels in repair, because now that she has somebody to heal, needs a repair job instead of a healing job. So, all right. So what is it? It is, was it intelligence plus repair? See what I can do.
Oh, okay.
How'd I do?
2 successes.
Well.
2 and a 10.
I'll take it.
So you
Would,
got your 2
would it
successes.
help if I help or no?
It could. You know what? Go ahead. You already said
you
had
get
the
an
tool.
extra AP.
Let's do it.
All right. It would be horrible if Punchy somehow made this work worse.
Oh, nearly.
Well, in spite of your best efforts, you didn't.
Yeah, but you managed to fill up this fusion core, so now you have a filled fusion core.
Go team.
Wahoo!
And we didn't
All
find
right.
any bodies or anything in the fusion flea.
It's not very big. If there had been bodies in there, we probably would have seen them.
All right, because we saw a video and there was a power armor, hot pink, that went crashing into this hole. I don't see it here anywhere.
Oh my!
So,
All right, hold on. Hot pink Okay, does anybody
like one of
see?
those like hot rods.
Oh, this out of game. This is the first time it actually occurred to Hazel who might have been wearing that power armor, and she actually stops, thinks to herself, "God, please tell me it's not him. Please tell me it's not Pep." Guys, does anybody see any trace of pink power armor? Any power armor parts that are not covered with meat?
Meat. Oh no, never mind.
Anything?
I should have waited until you said the meat part.
Okay.
Doesn't count.
Frankie, remember the first time we met? Remember the big guy who was with us in the power armor? That his power core kept falling out over and over and over again, and we ended up basically duct taping it in for him. He had a thing for pink power armor. Actually,
Okay.
any brightly colored power armor with like racing stripes or flames or anything like hot roddy. And he is a friend of mine. If he's here, I would really like to figure out what happened.
If you want to look around for kind of like signs, like
she is absolutely looking around now. She's
do
almost
like
manically.
Perception plus survival for difficulty 2 for me.
Okay,
I will assist you in this.
Survival. That would be
Since
fantastic.
you've described this man to me, and I'm
sure I've described the
on one occasion.
shenanigans multiple times. He got a set of power armor, and the first thing he did is jumped out a window to see if he'd take falling damage. He got the power armor by shit talking a Brotherhood of Steel until he literally quit the Brotherhood. And then we kind of did, but didn't steal the power armor by getting somebody to throw out the helmet so it would be scrapped, and then we just took it with us.
Do the roll, Hazel. Do the roll.
Oh, I'm working on it. Okay.
This guy sounds amazing.
Oh, he was.
What a legend.
Sorry.
Much cooler than that other guy you talk about all the time.
Do not talk shit about Clark. I will drain the fluid right out of your brain. Okay.
Dude everywhere.
All right. So, let's see. Perception plus survival. I'm actually really nervous right now.
Well, Frankie already rolled his assist, and that he got 2 successes on that, and so you got 2 successes with that as well. So that's 4 total successes for a difficulty 2 roll. So add 2 AP to the group. Hazel and Frankie, you look around, and remember that third pit where like the nuclear weapon was? Frankie, you're kind of looking around there, and you notice that there's like almost like some pink paint kind of in the dirt, like surrounding that where that third nuclear weapon could have been.
Mm-hmm.
You also notice some pink paint on the satellite as well.
Huh. Okay.
You know what I think?
What do you think?
I think, can I check the last set parameters for targeting? Like, where was the last time place that this?
Yeah, do an intelligence plus science for difficulty 3 to understand the last targeting parameters.
Yeah. Hazel, why don't you come check too?
I would love to give you a quick assist on this one.
Awesome.
You were so actively helping.
I don't
Computer's right here.
I don't computer too good, so.
Wow. Okay.
What was it? Intelligence, science.
Intelligence.
Yeah, intelligence and science for difficulty 3.
I don't computer well, so.
Well, let's see what I can do.
So Hazel, you got the 1 success in there. So what I would say is you kind of like halfway like find like some backlog file in there, and you could tell that the targeting was actually updated recently, and was particularly aimed directly into the sky at it seems like a floating target, like just in the sky.
Oh, okay.
So Hazel, what I'm thinking is that maybe it was Pep. Maybe he got trapped down here, and maybe he rode one of these motherfucking rockets out of this hole.
Honestly, that 100% sounds like something Pep would do.
And you want to know what else? I don't think that's a terrible idea, and maybe we should try it.
Well, I'll tell you what. If one of us can get out of here, the person who gets out can throw down a. Well, we already know we can do a rope ladder, or at least some kind of rope, something to get out. Or we can all try just ballsing it, and all 4 of us try and go at once. But Punchy, didn't you say something shot you and like the satellite zapped you and sent you down into the hole? What's going to stop that from doing it again?
I don't know.
Okay.
I felt targeted literally. I don't think. Maybe if we're more polite, maybe it won't happen. Maybe we're just nicer all around.
Okay. All right. Punchy's gone a little bit bye-bye. You know what? Pep was 100% himbo, but in his own way, he was a genius. Whatever he did, if we can do the same thing, I think we might be able to get out of here.
Alternatively, that flaming pile of garbage was from him trying to do what I just described and actually failing. And he might,
What
we don't need to go there.
What goes up must come down.
Yeah. A fusion core just falling out onto the ground. It's just kind of checking some boxes.
Yeah, no, that happened to him like 4 different times.
Did not even make that connection. Wow.
Amazing, totally amazing. But okay, let's. I have a completely selfish reason for wanting to give this a try. A flaming pile of garbage aside, is if it did work, maybe we can find out where he went. Maybe we can find him. That's a me thing. That's not a you thing. But
So you're saying you want to ride the rocket?
I'm saying I would like to have a big, powerful cylinder shoot me out of here. Yeah. Take that however you want.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see if we can make this work. The only other thing I can think of is if we can take one of the boosters off the rocket and put it on the flea, maybe we can make a flying car. I mean, it is the future. They talked about all the time how she was going to give us flying car. Never did get it.
Oh, I kind of like that idea.
Mm.
We could drag the flea on top of the fake bomb, and we use that. You flesh bags ride in the car, and I'll like grab on because I have 3 arms now. That would improve my gripability, and we just shoot ourselves off. I don't know how we angle it so we don't just like drop right back down in the hole.
And something not a lot of people know: the Fusion Fleet was one of the safest vehicles on the pre-war routes due to all of the impact bags and like straps for the seats, everything. If you were in some kind of accident and it didn't explode, it had a high survivability rate.
Well, like to give you some context, that's just because it was very dangerous doing anything at all. Like you could just get shot all the time. And it was awful and dangerous. That's why it was the safest. It was a smaller target. If you were in a highwayman, you would just get shot at all the time. It was
that doesn't feel too different from traveling nowadays.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I was thinking it. I wasn't going to say it. I don't think things necessarily have changed a lot, even with a whole apocalypse between then and now.
Our clothes had less holes.
That is something. The clothes had less holes, and the food was fresher, I assume, unless slightly dated.
Well,
that's cannibalism.
Here's how I see it.
I believe that one. Go ahead.
We got the rocket.
Yes.
I did manage to climb only, what was it? 1/3? No, actually closer to 1/2 of the way out of this pit before. It didn't feel all that safe. We can try climbing up. I don't know if anybody feels like they're going to be a better climber, Punchy. But yeah, I don't really think so. I don't think treads are all too good at climbing, but
even with 3 arms, I don't think I'm climbing my way up.
So this is my idea: is we can use one of these non-warheaded rockets to fly out of here. We can attach the fusion flea, or even just the seats from the flea, so that way we have some way to hold on to it. And the trick is, we don't need to let this thing go up very high. We can let it get its initial boost and then cut the engine and let a parabolic arc and gravity do its thing. If we time it just right, we're only going to fall 15, 20 feet once we get out of this thing, once we get out of this hole.
Is the second rocket still like boosting against the wall, or has that stopped?
You got pretty much like the rocket is like boosted into the wall until its rocket kind of just like spit all of its fuel. So really, you only have one working.
Yeah. Okay.
Warhead.
Sure. You know, I got the satellite. Let's I think we're all gonna die, but we can try it.
Okay. So if there's no way to cut the rocket on the way up, then I say as the rocket's lifting off, as soon as it's out of the hole, we jump for it.
I'm not really understanding anything that I'm looking at. But I think you can program this if you knew how to turn off at a certain point in its trajectory. I just can't do it. I don't computer good.
So I maybe book smart. I really haven't had a lot of hands-on time with actual nuclear launch systems. Mostly because there's not a lot of them that haven't been used up in the last 200 years. But I mean, I'm always game for learning. Only thing I can think of is, Abel, is there any chance whatsoever that you may be able to figure out, using what you know, if we can get this this booster to have a programmed on and off phase so we can try and shoot ourselves out of here?
Oh, not one bit.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, I guess unless Punchy was secretly a nuclear rocket scientist, I guess it's me. So I'm going to see if I can program this thing, the one that's remaining, into a 6-second on and then off flame out.
Yeah, so you basically want to put like a repeater on there.
Basically, yeah.
So you want to reprogram a repeater onto a rocket.
Yes.
So you want to do some rocket science.
Well, when you say it like that,
can you do intelligence plus?
Okay, all right.
For difficulty
5. We need you to do rocket plus science difficulty.
All right. In our defense, recently we did both brain surgery and brought back basically Dr. Frankenstein the dead. So how hard could rocket science be? I mean, seriously. So it's intelligence plus what?
Science for difficulty 5.
Okay.
I will give you a mixed success. I will give you a mixed success on this.
Okay.
I can't even figure out how to read like the text logs on this.
So
thing.
I'm gonna re-roll that 14 with that luck point I just got, because that's not gonna be enough for me. I need better.
Nice.
Yeah, and I rolled 20.
With one success, you know what? I will say that you have installed a repeater onto this.
Okay.
Onto this nuclear weapon. You've installed a repeater
on that shit.
So it's gonna go on for a couple seconds, then it'll go off. The rocket will go up and then start going down. When it starts going down, we need to jump off the rocket before it turns back on again, or else that time, the second time it turns on, we are really going for a ride.
Hazel.
Mm-hmm.
Be 100% honest with us. How confident are you that this is going to work?
Not at all.
Okay.
But we do have one thing that may or may not be in our favor, which is, I know Abel's got to be running out of juice, but maybe a biology-based like restraint system attaching us to the rocket, and that way we can all.
No. See, I am less concerned about being actually falling off the rocket. I mean, I am concerned about that too. I'm very much concerned being still attached to the rocket when it crashes.
Right. Which is one of the reasons that we need to jump off the rocket as soon as the boosters cut. We get close to the ground, we jump off the rocket as close to the ground as possible, and then once the rocket engages again, do not be underneath it so you don't lose your hair. And off it goes, and as long as it doesn't come down on top of us, we should be good.
You've heard of a baby Bjorn, right?
Yes.
I can be your beefy Bjorn.
Real quick. Correct me if I'm wrong, GM. I have contacted the Brotherhood of Steel base before, like internal radio, right? Have I not? That's
you
the hard part of like gas
you
between
talk
games.
to
I
a
feel like I
mob boss.
did,
You talk to your mob boss at
but
range.
I didn't contact the base before. Oh, damn, I thought I had.
No,
All right,
you didn't contact the base via radio. You just your dad's there.
Does Hazel's
I have a
boy
pit
have
boy.
two-way?
It does. You want to see if I can maybe call for an extraction from the Brotherhood?
that was
I'll let you do that. I would say that would be a luck plus charisma. Nope. Luck plus speech for a difficulty 3 to see who you get when you call.
Okay, luck plus charisma. I'm sure this is fine. Maybe I should take charisma. Okay, it's not luck plus speech. Let's go.
Luck plus speech.
I got 1 success. I am using yet another luck point and re-rolling another one of this. We need to get out of this hole. And I will burn my luck points for my rad rolls grenades. Or for no reason whatsoever. Either way. So I've got 1 success.
This is the part of the adventure where we start failing so many rolls in a row.
I have not been rolling well today, guys.
You're stuck in an 80-foot pit. Nobody brought rope.
Jesus, we're dead. We're done.
Hazel is a very smart person. Hazel is a very smart person, and she has been rolling like dog shit. So, I guess
she's stressed.
So with 1 success for a difficulty 3, you page the Brotherhood of Steel, and a voice answers the phone and says,
"Hello, come in.
This is the Brotherhood of Steel.
Hello, Brotherhood of Steel. This is your away team, and we need to get away. Utilize the super and we have recovered 1 power core, but we're currently trapped in a pit."
Tell my dad to come get me.
That's all very good, but it kind of sounds like you're on your own, and I really
so mad at this guy.
Okay.
I really like,
Name and rank. Who is this?
Oh, I'm not in the Brotherhood of Steel. This is Dr. Monday speaking.
Doctor,
good. Doc,
it's me.
Doc, I'm so glad I got you on the phone. Punchy's here. He would like to talk to you.
Doc, I need help. Get my dad. Tell him what's happening. He'll be here right away. We're stuck in a
your
hole.
Dad?
You know who my dad is.
No,
Dr.
son.
Monday, he thinks you're.
There's a
his
few
dad.
regulations that I feel. Who is your dad?
And what does he do?
And what does he do?
Okay,
My
so
dad
Dr.
is
Monday.
the knight.
Your dad is
boss.
knight?
He's the knight.
I don't have-
He's the man in charge.
I think he means the paladin.
Paladin.
Let me tell you something. You're not the son. You're not the son of my boss. That's for sure.
Is he your boss? Dr. Monday?
No. Of course, George Washington is my boss. I mean, you guys killed me.
Yeah.
I mean, I can put
to.
the paladin on the line if you really need that. But
that would be great. It will definitely score you some points with Punchy.
You hear a voice ring out and says, yeah, Paladin, they sided with the super mutants and they decided to stay down in the pit, and then a comm link goes off.
I am going to murder that guy so hard.
He's a very bad doctor. I don't know why he was
All right.
lying.
So, guys, extraction by the Brotherhood's not happening. I think we're going with Operation Rocket Man.
How large are these individual rockets?
Big. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think about like what these rockets would be, and so like I'm trying to think about the surface area of these rockets. So like, I would say that the total surface area is like a single room. Like, and like I'm talking about like kind of the size of the room I'm in. I know 3D for scale perspective, you can really understand. Maybe 30 feet long, like, but think about it in like a circular way. Think 30 feet long, maybe like 20 feet wide.
But it's on its side, right? Like it's laying down like the other one.
Yeah, it's laying down. It's like
okay.
Yes.
So, our first problem, we have to stand this thing upright. So let's see if we can even do that, and then worry about attaching us to it and riding it.
Okay.
He's gonna stand a nuclear weapon up.
Me.
I mean,
okay. Yeah,
strength the size of a whole room.
Strength plus athletics for difficulty 2, and excuse me, for difficulty 3. And it wouldn't be a 5 because it's not actually a lot. You're just lifting rubber and metal.
Shut. It could be 5. I don't give a shit.
Jeez. An 11, a 1, and a 3. That's 5 successes. So you get 2 AP from that, and you have now stood this rocket like facing up. Like, well, the warhead is now like a rocket ship ready to blast.
Well, now how do we get on top?
Why do you need to get on top? You can get on like the side.
Yeah, we can hold on to the side. That's probably smarter. Abel definitely has made some gains. Let's just say that.
Okay. So what? Do we poke the satellite go button with the stick and just go for this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
How good's your throwing arm, Hazel? Miss Green Glass, sorry.
Oh.
Say that one more time, sorry.
How good's your throwing arm?
It is exceptional. Why?
You think you could hit the button from, say, attached to this rocket?
Hell yeah, no problem. I'll have a backup item to throw just in case. But yeah, I get it.
So, I'm just imagining, like, maybe a steel bar that maybe you all could hold on to. Like, I'm trying to think about that. Like, essentially, you would be holding it. Like, I'm thinking about, like, the Sonic Adventure. Like,
no, even better. We've got a portion of cargo netting that we created in the form of some intestine.
Yeah.
That we've got. We can grab onto.
The main thing is, as soon as this thing clears the edge of the pit, it's either going to keep accelerating or it's going to cut out and start falling. Once this thing clears the edge of the pit, once it clears the edge of the pit, we all have to jump off of it as quickly as possible and make sure that we get to the side and not fall back in.
All right, so you've got this net over it that you're holding onto it. You've got it upright, and the plan is to have Hazel throw something at the computer to pretty much like press the go button.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right,
foolproof.
Cool. When you say it like that.
Yeah, missile go burr.
I mean, yeah, let's do it.
Missile go burr.
All right, yeah. Perception plus throwing for difficulty 3, Hazel.
Okay.
Well, I could fail here.
Use an AP.
I shall. And I most definitely, by the way, I have more than one item I can throw at this if I need to. I really wish I had, like something very long and pointy to do, but I think just anything like palm size would work just as well. Okay. Difficulty 3, throwing. throwing and what? It was luck. What was it?
Perception.
Perception plus throwing.
Perception plus throwing. Difficulty 3. And I'm using an AP. Let's go.
3 successes. Yeah, you managed to throw. I forgot what exactly you had, but you managed to throw it. And
I threw the mirror of the flea at it. The side mirror.
And it hits the computer, and all of a sudden from below you, as you all are holding onto this like meaty flesh on the side of this inactive warhead, you feel like it's like a fire below your feet. It's very hot, and slowly you begin raising out of the pit, gaining acceleration. At this point, Hazel, I will ask you if you had installed a repeater, and for game's sake, I'm going to say it's beside you. What would you like to do with that?
Okay, so the pit is about 20 feet tall, right, to get out?
80 feet.
80 feet. Okay, so
80 feet pit.
So I'm going to base this on the number for the launch capacity for the United States 1960s Minuteman II rocket, which was the same one that was originally used for the Gemini space probes. It will start accelerating very quickly once it gets past 20. So I'm going to go 5 seconds, and then it cuts out. Once it cuts out, it should have enough inertia to get the rest of the way out of the pit before it starts to, basically make a parabolic arc and start towards the ground. And then another 4 seconds, 5 seconds after that, it'll kick on the engine again. And at that point, if we're still attached to it, we're going up a little bit too high for it to be survivable. So 5 second, 5 second, 5 second repeater.
Yeah, okay. So that all sounds nice and good, but here's the thing. You rolled a 1 on a difficulty 5. That sounds great. Okay. You punch
so it's just going to keep going,
with the complication she rolled.
With the complication, and so you managed to hit this kind of like repeater, and it's like a boost mode, and it's so fast, and there's so much fuel that you all feel like you all are really disoriented. It's like, oh, you're moving, like you can feel it. You're holding on
for dead for a few seconds.
You're holding on for dear life, and as
there's a lot of vibrations too. It's kind of it's
initial fuel burn kind of peels off. You realize that you're probably like 300 feet in the air, and you are looking down at the ground. As you're coming to, you can see the Brotherhood of the Steel base, and actually you can start to see, like, in the distance as you're going up and up, a vertibird almost like is wheeled out, and its wings begin like turning. It looks like it's gonna ascend at any moment. But ahead of you is the storm itself, the storm that has been swirling around this entire area. It's like a swirl of rain, and it makes everything kind of slippery on there. So I'm gonna have everybody do a what would this be? This would be like a grip. So strength plus athletics for a difficulty 1 to see if you can like really like hold on to the flesh as it gets rained on. Nothing like holding on to some intestines while it gets rained on.
Yes. All right. So
Abel, you're good. Strength plus athletics, difficulty 1.
Oh, okay.
Punchy does have 3 arms now, so I feel like he's got a very good grip.
Oh boy. If anybody has low strength, use an AP.
He's got 2 bum arms and a loosely attached third arm. Let's be very honest.
All right, I managed 1 success.
All of the humans are fine, but Punchy actually, like an arm of yours kind of rips off as you're trying to grab, but the third arm like turns to its side and then like re-grabs to the flesh as you ascend up into the cloud, and you are going higher and higher, and now you've kind of entered this like super duper wind force area. And so can I have everybody roll? I would say this would be a perception plus survival for a difficulty 2 to kind of understand what's happening. Okay. Anybody can get this. I just need one person to get a difficulty 2 perception survival.
Hey! Yeah, there you go.
So Hazel, you realize as you're kind of like holding onto this thing that this storm is heavy, but it is getting heavier and heavier and heavier as you're kind of like going through it. Like the air feels thicker, but the wind is so quick. You realize that you're kind of like almost approaching like an eye of a storm. Like you understand that like the circular nature of that you are coming up through that. And as you kind of like peek out, you can see almost like a giant structure kind of looming ahead of you.
It's past the eye wall. It's in the center of this tornado-y storm.
Kind of. You all then, as you're like pulling up and getting through it, Hazel, what you see, what the rest of everybody is so disoriented, but you see is you actually shoot up through the clouds. This bomb is on a trajectory as it breaches through the top layer of the storm, and now it is in sunny air. Below it is like a field of clouds. You're in this like sunny air, and you realize that in front of you is a legitimate flying city at the center of this storm. You all look up. Hazel, you look upon it, and it looks pre-war. Like it looks like it has regular buildings, skyscrapers, lights. It's full of life and activity, but you realize you are heading straight for it. What are you going to do?
Well, it looks like we really aren't in Kansas anymore. I don't know what I can do. Does it look like the rocket is... It doesn't have a warhead, so it's not going to blow it up, but it doesn't look like it's going to impact it.
Yeah, you are on a trajectory straight for that.
So I'm going to shout to my teammates and say, guys, I got good news and bad news. Don't let go, but prepare for impact.
What? It's very loud, Hazel. Blink it out in Morse code.
It take too long. Hold on.
All right, and so... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, there's really nothing else she can do except she told everybody to hold on.
So as you all kind of... as you approach close to the city, you feel the rocket like dying like behind you. And the moment it kicks out, you were just on a trajectory. Kind of the top compartment, like in a circle around the top of it, kind of pops off of it and kind of like gets tangled up. The metal gets tangled up in some of the intestine net that you have around it. And through the intestine net, it actually balloons out a giant inflatable, almost like an inflatable that would stop the bomb from having as much impact. But the inflatable is caught into the net. And so imagine that you were riding a bomb and you have this net, but then all of a sudden something expands it. All of you are then at the edge of this giant inflatable that is going to stop a test nuclear warhead. So now you all are flying way farther apart on this piece of rubber that essentially is the stopper for a giant nuclear warhead. Through the air, you realize that you don't know if you're going to make the city. You don't know if you're even gonna be able to get it, but as this bomb kind of like goes through, it feels like that maybe something is like connecting to the city itself. Like there's almost kind of like a gravitational force that's kind of like moving you all, but then it starts accelerating you all again, and you all feel like kind of a whooshing as you all crash into a street, and you run down the street. Frankie, you go flying off into one of the suburban buildings as you land. Abel, you kind of like fly forward down the block. Hazel, you're flying kind of like behind the bomb as it goes. I'm gonna say with a good idea of arms. Punchy, you are still holding onto this bomb as it crashes and creates a giant distortion within the city. Hazel, I would say that you are kind of delirious. You circle up, but you can hear in the distance sirens. You see people coming out of their houses being very upset, and you realize that the police sirens. These are sirens of police cars.
I didn't even have a cowboy hat. Damn. Wow.
They begin to approach the area, and beyond it in the city, you look up and you notice that the tallest skyscraper actually has a bomb implanted to the top of it.